Podcasting, live video.
So we kind of had this idea of keeping you guys in tune to what's going on during the year, during the season, instead of just when you see it during Land of the Free.
Yeah, this has been so with the video, with the audio, with the everything. This is an undertaking as far as let's just take it to the next level.
Yep.
Our actual goal is to keep everybody else informed on what we're doing, and this is kind of almost a day by day before the day by day.
Correct.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the biggest thing is for one, what are the elk doing? What are we experiencing? What the weather's doing? You know, everyone always asks what's the best time of year? When should I go? What's the moon doing? What's the rut going to be? This is our experiences that we've had of one of the best opening weekends we've had in a lot of years.
It was pretty awesome.
It really was.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. Yeah. Just right out of the gate, I guess, so everybody has this whole, I think, preconceived notion of what season's going to be like, right? Oh man, I'm going to call this thing in. It's going to be broadside. It's going to be screaming its head off. It's not been the case for us.
It has not been bull screaming, but
we've
been
adapting.
I think the biggest thing is we always portray in videos we run, bugle, run, bugle, run, bugle. This weekend's been the complete opposite, and it's let's slow it down.
Yeah.
Let's play it a lot safer. We know that there's elk here. We've been in and around them. They've been like ghosts in and out.
Yeah.
And full draw. Several times.
Several times.
Whether it's been an arrow shot, you're gonna have to watch the video for that.
Yeah, but it's been cool, and I'll just bust into it now. And I don't know if this is the right time, but I got to take my son Wyatt hunting this whole opening weekend. Super awesome. He did a great job, but it's been really cool, like a different dynamic as far as taking a new hunter, and a lot of people, I think, and a lot of you probably screaming at the television finally, you guys are doing this, right? And so it was Wyatt's been around hunting all his life, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's a whole different feeling when you have that bow in your hand.
Yeah, he's bow hunted with us a lot, but he's not been a tag holder with us.
Correct. He's killed some giant bears. He's killed some really, he's a great rifle shot. He does awesome at that, but you haven't seen him in the bow side of things. And it was really, really fun to be able to go out there with my son. And it was a weird dynamic because on the setups, usually it's the guy that's shooting and it's the cameraman behind you. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's the guy that's shooting, the cameraman behind you, and Trent right beside you in your ear going, don't screw this up.
No, and I will say,
I'm just kidding.
As being Wyatt's uncle, I was so thrilled when I heard that he was going to be in camp. I honestly, that made my experience of this whole weekend was I've been waiting for the day to go experience that with you guys, and for me to be there with you and a fly on the wall was truly just in itself I think not getting emotional about it, but it was.
I think it's good. I think everybody, this is taking this podcast or this the Rut Report a whole different direction. But I think it's everybody parents different, and I think it's just it was the time to do it, and it was Wyatt is very accomplished, I will say. He's very accomplished in the outdoors. He is very accomplished, but at the same time, it was so good to bring it in and have him on on those hunts with us on that.
Was this his first archery elk tag that he's actually had?
Tag, yes.
He's gone and called for people.
Yeah, he calls for people. Wyatt's a very good caller. It was his first tag. Yeah. And it was so cool. I'm not going to give anything away, but the first scenario when his whole hands were shaking so much, and I was just right in his ear, just deep breath. And these bulls were close.
Yeah.
They were close. And it was just and then as a parent, it was really a different role for me because I was in the point where I was I'm shaking so bad. I doubt I could make this shot.
Because I looked behind me and Trent was shaking just as much. He just didn't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah.
And then Kody down the hill is shaking too.
And I'm son, deep breath, deep, breath, deep breath. It's good, just all right, everything. And I'm telling them yardages, and I'm telling them all this stuff and everything. It was just like, holy moly. So it was really, really cool to relive that through my eyes too.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, like we talked earlier, we've heard some bugles. We've heard bugles every day, except for today. We've been in and around elk, but it has not been a rut fest. We saw a herd of 21 head that did not have a branch bull in the bunch.
3 spikes.
So
Yep.
obviously, it's not quite going off yet. We've seen a little bit of rut sign as far as some rubs. Opening morning, we dropped in and there's an alder, 8-10 inches in diameter, shredded, dripping wet. Like there was saliva on the ground, but we couldn't find that bull.
Roller coaster, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Roller coaster.
I feel like if we would have found that bull, things would have been different, but we found satellites, and the satellites did the old sneaky walking on eggshells coming in.
Which worked.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the hard
which
part,
almost worked.
a lot of people ask
a couple different times.
yeah, when you're doing the cat road shuffle, how long do you wait? Normally it's like 2 minutes and we're on to the next spot, and we would sit for 15-20 minutes, call, sit silent for 10 minutes, maybe a half hour total before we'd move on. And it was like at minute 29, all of a sudden you'd hear a stick break, and here comes this rag bull tiptoeing in, doing the ghost. So if you're out there in the woods right now, maybe slow it down a little bit, maybe not come in from like a wrecking ball, just total lip ball, challenge bugle, the whole works. Like, just slow it down.
I think great advice would be, when you can see that you're getting on elk, right? When you can see, and we've seen that a few different times in the last 4 days. It's just like, we're getting close. We know, I'm seeing the tracks, I'm seeing the sign, things are getting fresher. Let's pick this apart. How can we not screw up?
Yeah.
Right. And I think that is huge. And I'm not talking the early season. I'm talking about all season long. I'm just thinking like the things that we've done. I'm thinking about the time that we knew those tracks were from last night.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're following these tracks, and it looks like a herd of, I don't know how many. Let's slow it down. Let's just like, okay, guys, they're going to be somewhere. They're somewhere in front of us, and we've got the upper hand. Let's not ruin that.
No, and one experience that I did have this weekend that was still, to me, the craziest thing as far as there's elk. We didn't hear them. We didn't see them. We didn't smell them. We saw the shadow.
Of an elk, yeah. Because the sun was just
sun was low.
Yeah.
And, it was like another morning that was overcast. We would have met each other face to face at 3 yards. But instead, we saw a shadow at 15 yards. And all of a sudden, that shadow kept moving and getting longer. And all of a sudden, here's a bull. And at full draw.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It was pretty exciting. What was cool to me, I think, through like the rut report is like going back, like I told Wyatt numerous times, like, all right, I want to see you check the wind. I want to see you check the wind 20 times a day. And he's like, well, why, Dad? And I'm like, because I want to see you and get it installed in your brain to where it's just like, I need to check the wind no matter what on any scenario. And then I said, I want to see you range 20 times a day. And he's like, I understand. He understood that. And I said, I want you to range something, first judge it your own self, and then range it and be like, okay, I was a few yards off, or I was this, I was that. It was awesome. And then he instilled that. And then by the end of the whole time, he was just like, all right, I've got range, I've got wind. And if you can just take those two things every time that we come into fresher sign, I have that wind checker not just readily available. I have it in my hand the whole time. I don't even care if I'm a shooter. I have it in my hand, and I am testing that all of the time because I know we're getting closer. So those things I think was really cool, normal stuff that I do like just on the regular, but that we could, kind of teach.
No, absolutely. Kind of take the experience for granted and just like something you do.
Yeah.
But now you're taking that knowledge and passing it along. I think it's great.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So from here, where do we go?
This is a turning point in season already. It's day 4.
Turning point
sneaker.
in season.
Yeah.
In season.
Backing
in
up.
season. In season.
We've got some opportunities to go help some friends. So we've got tags in our pockets, but you know what? We got a lot of season left. But these other opportunities don't really line up very often. So we're like, let's go do it. So we're going to go pack up, head east, go help some friends, hopefully call in and kill a bull.
Great friends.
Yeah, great friends.
Yes.
And some long time. I mean, a lot of history there. So you won't see us behind the bow here for the next little bit. You're going to see hopefully some good stuff.
But we'll be there, calling, filming, and taking you guys through it all. So
I am hoping some good
it should be
encounters.
pretty exciting where we're going.
It
and
should
everything.
be some really, really exciting.
Arguably the best spot in the state.
Okay, you've said too much. You've said too.
Arguably.
You've said too much. Now they're expecting greatness.
Yeah.
So this has been the Rut Report, guys, and this is through archery season. These are going to be coming out every Monday on podcasts and on YouTube. So be expecting that. We're going to go through kind of what we experienced that week, what we learned from it, and then also, without giving too much away, kind of share a little bit of the success or hardships of it all. So
Love it.
All right. We'll see you guys next Monday.
Rut Report.
See ya.
No worries over nickels and dimes or a 9-to-5 grind. I gotta get loose sometimes. In trouble.